This is the 2014 Fiat 500L. Though it is a Fiat 500 in name, it's a totally different vehicle in every other respect. It's wider, it's bigger, it's heavier, it's taller, there's more interior space. There's nothing small about this 500L, but it's still got the heart of a tiny car under the hood. Let's pull over and I'll show you what I mean. Now, under the hood, you'll find one of the few things that the 500L shares with the standard Fiat 500, and that is its 1.4 liter multi-air turbo engine. Now that 1.4 liter engine is the same engine that you'll find under the hood of the Fiat 500 Turbo and the 500 Abarth. Here, we're looking at about 160 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, which is not half bad for a vehicle that weighs at about 3,200 pounds. Now that weight puts it a little bit heavier than, for example, the Mazda CX-5, but it's got a little bit more power as well, so we're expecting better acceleration from this vehicle, maybe not as good handling. Power is either going to go through a manual transmission or, in this case, a 6-speed DCT transmission. That's a dual clutch automated manual, so you're going to get manual efficiency with automatic convenience. The EPA reckons that in this configuration, the 500L is good for 24 miles per gallon in the city, 33 on the highway, and a combined average of about 27 miles per gallon. That's not bad for a big old vehicle like this. Let's hop inside and see exactly how spacious it is. Now, when you hop in the driver's seat of the Fiat 500L, you realize that, well, there's a lot of space in here, and there's also a lot of visibility. One of the best features of this vehicle is that you get a lot of greenhouse glass, big wide windshield, these sort of between the A-pillar windows, and this huge $1,100 power sunroof. All of that's going to work together to create a bright and airy feeling, and that's kind of the whole point of this vehicle. You got a lot of space for people and your junk. Now, when we're talking about cabin tech, you kind of know that out of the box is going to be a pretty sparsely equipped vehicle, when on Fiat's website they're talking about how great the power locks are. Fortunately, we do have cabin tech that's been upgraded with the $1,700 Uconnect infotainment system. Now, this is straight out of the Chrysler parts bin. It's something that the Fiat Chrysler partnership kind of brings to this brand. Our navigation is going to be powered by Garmin, even though you won't see a Garmin logo anywhere on the infotainment system. But the way that the maps look and the way the menu structure is organized is straight out of a Garmin portable navigation device. As far as audio sources, we've got USB connectivity, we've got an SD card slot and an auxiliary input right down here at the bottom of the dashboard. You've also got radio and satellite radio as available audio sources. One thing that you will not find in this vehicle is a CD or DVD player slot. Fiat and Chrysler have completely ditched the optical drives, so if you've got physical discs lying around, you're going to want to rip those to a USB drive or something before you hit the road. Audio is going to come through, in this case, an optional Beats audio system. That's the same Beats by Dre that you see on everyone's headphones. The system's also been optimized to work with digital audio, so those of you who are worried about losing that CD drive can know that the stereo system's been optimized for compressed digital audio. Also, part of that Uconnect system is going to be Bluetooth connectivity. If we pop in here, we can see that we're paired with our phone. That's going to also include audio streaming from a paired device. And if you get a text message, you can actually view the message on the system right here. And if you're driving, you get a pop-up that asks if you want to listen to it with text-to-speech and then reply with a canned response.
Courtney Parham, word to the wise, don't rent a car in the hood.
Now, it's got a small car's engine and small car power. 160 horsepower in a vehicle this big isn't really a ton to have a lot of fun with. The big vehicle also has a lot more weight and mass to kind of move around, but from where I'm sitting in the cabin, a lot of the 500L size is just empty space that you can fill with people and things. The suspension is going to be a McPherson front situation up front and a torsion bar suspension in the rear with Coney shocks. That's a name brand. It's kind of interesting to see that in a vehicle without any sort of performance cred. But the Fiat 500L doesn't really feel like a performance car. As you go around corners, there's a lot of body roll because the mass is really high, and I'm pretty sure that all this glass up top isn't doing anything to help that. Okay, let's price this 2014 Fiat 500L. The 500L is going to start at $19,195 at the entry point, but this trekking model has a couple of additional creature comforts and styling upgrades. It's going to bring the price up to about $22,000. However, as tested, we're at $26,845, and that's because we've got a couple of options that you're going to want to consider when choosing your 500L. The first is this $1,100 power sunroof, and let me tell you, if you're looking at the 500L and you don't get this sunroof, why are you even bothering? It's one of the best features on this car. We've also got the Beats audio system. That's a $700 option on this trekking model, and that's going to give you really bass heavy audio if you're into that sort of thing. And for early adopters, Fiat's going to toss in its Premier package. That normally runs you $1,745. Now that package is going to include the touchscreen Uconnect navigation system, the rear view camera and park distance system. It's included here at no additional charge, but even if you don't get it for the freebie, it's definitely worth the money.